What's going on, y'all? It's Wayno here, and I just did lunch table talk with the progress report. It is one of them ones. Make sure y'all tune in and share it.
Progress report. Yeah, progress report. News, interviews. Tune into the progress report. Keep watching the progress report. Tune into the progress report. La, boss brick, Excel. Know when you progress, gotta excel.
The progress report.
Okay, what's going on? It's your girl Lala Shepherd.
Boss Brit the most lit.
What's up? It's your girl DJ Excel.
Hey man, we got a very special guest in the building, Wayno.
What up, what up, what up?
Yo. Oh yeah, this
I
is
ain't even
Sheriff,
peep
man.
it, brother. All right,
Yes,
bet.
yes.
All right.
Man, we got Wayno in the building, man. What's crazy, you know, me and Wayno met before at some type of music event. I
We
think
do not
it was
remember.
Revolt. I'm not too sure. But either way, you know, we've been seeing you around. I know me and Excel recently saw you at K-Cash's listening event. We like, bruh,
Yeah.
we got to get him on the show. So definitely excited for you to be here. So we're going to talk all things you. We're going to talk things, current events, and all that good stuff. So first, we're going to get into this pop quiz with Boss Brit.
Yes, and nobody up here is drinking. So
I do want to recognize he did just get a fresh cut for the
Oh, no,
Yeah.
clean as hell.
for the
Had to,
episode.
had
So
to.
he showed us respect. I appreciate
I
that.
couldn't come up here slick.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I
okay.
couldn't come up here slick.
Period.
we appreciate that.
Energy.
So Lala, you not drinking?
I would have, but I'm not.
Okay, well
I mean,
we just
if
gonna
Wayno
play
drink,
it.
I
We
drink.
gonna keep it clean.
Wayno, you don't
today.
drink?
You don't drink?
Nah.
Okay, cool. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll keep it clean today because basically it's a pop quiz, multiple choice. If you would have got it wrong, you would took a shot.
All right. Oh, y'all be giving people smack.
And
If y'all
usually
get it
Lala
wrong.
would do
If you
it,
get it wrong,
you know,
alright,
but
alright.
she don't got her liquor ready daily. But it's surrounded around the music business.
Okay.
So let's test your knowledge.
All right.
You know
You
you're
got it,
tenured
Wayno.
in the business. So let's
Alright.
see. All right, first question. Who was the first artist to release an album under Roc-A-Fella and Def Jam at the same time?
Under Roc-A-Fella and Def Jam at the same time, the first artist.
You want the choices?
Yeah, you give me a choice.
Okay. Is it A, Jay-Z, B, Kanye West, C, Neo, or D, Freeway?
It's not Neo or Kanye West. That's a fact.
Come on, process of elimination.
You said who? Freeway?
Freeway and then Jay-Z or the
Oh, Jay-Z. That's easy.
the last two.
That's Jay-Z. That's Jay-Z.
Now, we can fact check this,
No,
right?
that's Jay-Z. That's a fact.
Because they saying it's Kanye West.
That's impossible.
They be in
Ooh,
ChatGPT.
shit.
That's impossible. Kanye
look
West
it up.
album ain't come out till 2004. They had a deal with Def Jam since 1998. I worked at
Damn.
Roc-A-Fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, so yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Stop playing with him.
Yeah,
Stop
you
playing
know
with
me.
him.
Talk about
So let me find out ChatGPT be lying on this.
Because I ain't gonna lie, when you first said it, you know what I thought of? I said, damn, the Memphis Bleak. I was like, I was thinking about Memphis Bleak album, but I was like, no, it was Jay. It still was Jay. Because I think the first album was like his second album. It was In My Lifetime Volume 1. Yeah.
Okay. I'm a fact
That
check
he
it
released
later.
on Def Jam. Because people were like, oh, that's not his first album.
Ah,
That's
Def
Reasonable
Jam.
Doubt.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because his first album came out on Priority.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Britt, you go ahead and fact check that, and can you
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
us
let me
in that
fact check this
meantime,
real quick.
like coming up in the mailroom, was it?
Yeah, I was in the mailroom.
Talk about that.
I mean, so the way I got into the mailroom, I've told the story a few times.
Okay.
You know, my teenage years were pretty bad. You know what I mean? My teenage years was pretty bad. I dropped out of high school at a very young age, and I didn't. My mom was about to send me the job call. She was going to send me to South Carolina, and I begged her not to send me to South Carolina.
But you from Harlem?
I'm from Harlem.
Okay,
I'm from the Bronx too. I always
Okay.
gotta add that. I'm from the Bronx
Okay.
too, because I was born in the Bronx and then moved to Harlem. But she was gonna send me to South Carolina, and I begged her not to. And then she was like, "You gotta go to Job Corps. You gotta do something." And she was like, "Cause I'm not gonna be cooking every day, coming home, taking like working, cooking, paying the bills, and you just not doing nothing." And
Hello?
at this time, I was 17,
Oh yeah.
and I had got a job. I got a job. First interview, then you get the second interview, and then it was like 3 locations. One was 825 8th Avenue. That was where I ended up at.
Okay.
Where the labels was. The other one was the World Trade Center, and the other one was some other place I can't remember. And this is the year 2000. So
Whoa,
if I'd have been at the World Trade Center in 2000 and in 2001, we all know how that story goes,
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
So I had I ended up in the mailroom, and like my first day being on the mailroom, I had made the decision I was gonna get into music. First day.
Was you like, yo, this is where I'm at? Like, was it?
So I didn't really know. Like it was like, I mean, living in Harlem, I seen a lot of rappers
Right.
growing up because everybody come to Harlem to either shop,
Yep,
party, or
fashion.
something. So like I seen Mace when I was a kid. I seen Cam. I seen Jay-Z in Harlem. Like even if you not from like Harlem, you gonna end up in Harlem if you from New York.
Yeah.
Nori, I seen DMX, all of them. Like I seen all of them before I got this job. So backstage, I remember the documentary Backstage. It's about Jay-Z, Hard Lock Knife.
Oh
So,
yeah, I remember that.
so me and like everybody that I chill with, we always like teenagers at the time. We went to go see it. And when I seen it though, I seen my cousin on the documentary. My cousin was Jay-Z bodyguard.
Oh,
on the
damn.
tour. But that didn't help me though. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, I'm like, okay.
But he like one of them cousins that like, you got them cousins that might be like an uncle or aunt to you because they older.
Yeah.
So I seen him and I was like, wow. And then like months later in the year 2000, I ended up getting a job in a building where all of them worked at.
Damn.
So I was like, when I seen it, I was like my first time was walking around. I seen what was that? Murda Inc. Like it's this when Ja Rule is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I see that, like they whole corner is like it's red, and they got like CDs for their nameplates, and it say like Irv Gotti. I'm like, I said, why do that say that? Because I didn't know. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, why say Irv Gotti right there? Why say BJ? They like so the dude that was training me. He like, you don't know where you at. I'm like, what you mean? He like, this where all the record labels at.
That's crazy.
I didn't even know that record labels had offices. Like I'm a kid off the block. Like I ain't know nothing about none of that shit. And keep in mind, I dropped out of high school. I didn't even know what the word career meant until I was like 27.
Yeah, and even back then the offices was different. Like when I think Cameron Jim Jones said they made their own little office.
Yeah, they damn sure did make an office. But and at the time when I came to like. The building was Universal. You know what I mean? UMG, everybody's saying UMG now because of the Drake shit. Just figured out what UMG is last year. But it was Universal, right? And so Nelly was signed there. Like this is in the year 2000. So just think about Ludacris.
Great music.
Crazy.
Great
Scarface drops the Fix that year. So
Great
I'm
music.
a kid seeing that Def Jam. So when people watch all this stuff about like Lyor Cohen and how they was running Def Jam and Murda Inc. and Roc-A-Fella and DMX, I was in the mailroom when all that's happened.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it was like when that first day I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the job in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm find something. Yeah, I'm gonna figure some shit out,
Yeah. All right. Now this is why you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Google be wrong sometimes. I'm gonna just tell you what it say. All right. It say Kanye West, The College Dropout, came out in 2004. Was officially released under Roc-A-Fella Records in partnership with Def Jam Records. Following Roc-A-Fella's full integration under the Def Jam umbrella, Jay-Z and others had prior releases through Def Jam distribution, but Kanye was the first new solo artist promoted under the joint branding from the start.
Oh, that's schematics then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, but like,
I got Joe Snow, tomato.
Like, no, if you take if you take that corner, like nobody looks at Kanye and says, "Oh, he's the first person to drop a Roc-A-Fella Def Jam album." You got
I don't think that's like a monument.
You know what I mean? You
That
got
is
all them
funny.
people. There's so many people that dropped albums through that. That was just the business terms, though.
Well, let's talk about Ye real quick.
Yes,
So I'm
please.
assuming you met
Of course, I
met Kanye or Ye.
I met Kanye. I met
Kanye.
his mother. Like
Oh, you
I'm
met
talking
his
about,
mother.
like
Rest in
the first episode of that Genius documentary. I'm on the episode.
Oh, really? What
Yeah,
part?
when he's complaining and walking out and it, like, remember the scene where he went to play his music.
Yeah, okay, in the
and
office.
nobody wanted to listen.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
No, she wasn't listening though.
No, that's bullshit. I'm cause
She was listening?
That's Chaka Pilgrim. Chaka
Yeah.
Pilgrim is a behind the scenes music person who has been with Jay-Z from the start. She is great at marketing. She worked with everybody from Dream, Beyonce, everybody. She's a great person, and I hated the way that painted her.
Yeah, because it did
I
look like she
hated the
wasn't
way-
paying attention.
No, the thing
Okay,
about
got
Kanye
you.
West, and I said this before, that's not the first. Like, think about the shit he do on social media.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, we sitting in front of cameras now.
Mm-hmm.
In the year 2002, 2003, you couldn't just walk around with a camera and people not looking like, what the fuck you doing?
Right.
So he had done that. Listen, he had done that like 3 times.
Okay, got you.
He did that like 3 times. So it's like
Yeah.
everybody heard the song, but he was already signed.
Got
He was
you.
already signed to Roc-A-Fella as an artist.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, they use that part to
Mm-hmm.
make it look like it was. But imagine I come in here the first time I come in
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
I kick in the door, I start rapping. You
Right.
like, oh no, this nigga nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Then the next time y'all invite me, I do the same
Right,
thing because
right.
I got the cameras. And y'all like, oh, all right,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we're gonna let you get that off. Then the third time it's like you working.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what is you doing? So
Right,
that's
right.
the situation it was. It was, and I hate the way that painted
That's
Chaka because
crazy.
Chaka is one of the most important people in music that don't look for the credit.
Yeah.
She don't look to build her name up or none of that shit. She's a great woman, a black woman, since y'all want to play that game.
Oh,
You know, everybody be like, oh, support black women. No,
Yeah.
she's one of the best in the business, and I hated the way she's one of my mentors and a big sister to me. So I hated the way they portrayed her in that shit.
I'm glad you got to clear that up because a lot of people definitely was on her when that dropped. Like, dang, you wasn't even paying attention. You was on a phone call. You wasn't even listening to him.
But there's still people that don't care about that. They still gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
Wayno a clout chaser. He just saying, I don't care. I was there. I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Period.
So, I mean, it looked like even from the documentary, Kanye always had his, you know, beliefs
Confidence
and
stuff.
confidence.
Yeah.
But, what you think about everything going on now?
Everything that's going on now, I don't know because he's so unpredictable. It's like, all right, just simply saying like the situation that he's talking about, the shit with his cousin and all of that, right? Now, anybody who's going through something traumatic like that, I feel for you. It's horrible, right? But today he put up a tweet saying, oh, so because I said that, it's cool for me to use the word F. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Yeah,
F.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you take. I say you got to take what he does with not a grain of salt, with a ice cube of salt. Because for real, because it's like, or one hand, like I remember when he was talking. He said he was talking to Akademiks and he said some shit about. He was like, yeah, like Jay-Z, how much money has he made off of my catalog?
Yeah, saying on his masters and shit.
And then when I think somebody said to him, yo,
I think Akademiks said,
he said, I actually don't know if he owns it or not.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, come on, bro. It is what it is. I understand the attachment that people have to him because he's given us some of the greatest things ever. I think that he's one of the greatest artists ever, right? But with the same time of me calling you great, I gotta call you trash too. You know what I'm saying? Like I equate a lot of this shit to sports. I could curse.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Now I equate a lot of this shit to sports, and like with sports, if I'm gonna, I love Shaq. Shaq, one of the best big men ever, right? But let's not forget about him going to the Celtics to try to chase a ring, the Cavs to try to chase a ring, like
Miami, everywhere.
well, Miami
He
did
did
win
good
a
at
ring,
Miami. He did, okay.
Miami, but it's like you gotta call out you gotta call out the bullshit when you see it, and like I'm not going for it, man.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to.
Yeah, cause
At first it was like, oh, that's Kanye.
Yeah.
Man, I'm at
doing
that
too much.
fuck it. I don't even want to hear it no
Yeah.
more. It's tiring. It's exhausting. You're playing with people. Like
the kids thing, I didn't
yeah, like
Yeah.
he's
like that.
just being disrespectful and just the KKK shit.
Yeah,
was stupid.
I'm happy you said that because this is the thing, right? It's like, bro, the swastikas, and I've never in my life seen people make excuses for nobody like him.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I've never
He like, they
seen
do this in Japan. It means something different over there. Like
You know
Kanye, you know
exactly
that don't
what
mean.
the
it mean.
Confederate. First, I mean, it started years ago with the Confederate flag.
Yes.
Then even to the point of you talking about your black children with their white mother. Like, it's like you complaining about all this white woman. I'm like, yo, bro, that's your wife. Like, then you said, after 4 months of being with her, I knew I didn't want to have kids with her. Then you had mad
multiple
kids.
kids.
Bro, it don't make, listen,
Yeah, that threw me off.
Kanye, he's really like I don't know if y'all watch Star Wars, but he got Jedi mind tricks. Like, it's like Jedis could just tell you something and you gonna believe it. He just tell you anything. Like he literally contradicts himself in the same sentence, and people be like, nah, that nigga's right.
Right.
I get it. And then it's like I feel him for what he's doing with the they make money off of Black Death and all of that. And I listen, you have a point there, right? But you're also not saying about all the beats you sold that people talked about Black Death on. You sold beats to all these same artists that was talking crazy.
Yeah.
You don't like over.
Yeah.
I personally believe that drill as a culture, not just the music, but drill as a culture has ruined black and brown youth all over America.
It's
America.
crazy out
Gang
here.
culture changed. Gangs always existed. Violence always existed. Death always existed. When drill came into the park, nobody never was calling nobody ops and say they smoking on dead people. Kids in middle school be talking about smoking on. They don't even smoke. It be like smoking on your dead. What?
Yeah.
It's a culture thing. And if you gonna say that they did this, also say that you came in, stole Young Chop beat. Ooh. Took everybody took Little Reese and Chief Keef off their own record, put everybody on there. You might have did something for Chicago, cool, but you also pushed that narrative as well. So let's not like.
That's
Good
real.
points.
Right.
Big facts up
And
there.
should we blame Lil Mouse for starting drill?
No, not Lil Mouse. That shit
drill
was my
is,
shit.
drill is really like some shit. What come first, the chicken or the egg? It's like the same. It's both at the same time. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, it was gonna be what it's gonna be, but it has. I've seen gangs have existed for a long time. I see how it changed the gangs.
Yeah.
Like,
And with the KKK thing, I just want to throw this out there, and I know this like y'all are acquainted or whatever, but I was so okay. No, not yet. I was talking about academics.
Oh, okay.
How much academics be talking shit or pulling somebody's card online? It seemed like such like. It just seems so whack that he just accepted everything without even questioning it.
I think so. I ain't shooting academics no bell, cause honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with Act. I mean 100 with y'all. I know Act, but I don't know Act.
Yeah,
that's real.
You know what I mean? Like I know him, but I don't know him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like we never hung out together or nothing like that. Like we've had like conversations over the years in small spurts, but I did a show with him for 3 years, so I understand why people associate me with him, but I don't know him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? What I got from it, but I am also, even with all his rhetoric and shit, it's some things that he does that I'm a fan of.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's things that he does that I'm a fan of, because I understand that a lot of shit that he does is performative.
Yeah.
He knows that when he gets on that camera, he's providing a service which is belligerent, ridiculous shit. And he's providing information and insight on things from a media standpoint.
Yeah.
Right? Not shooting him no bell. What I got out of it was, he was like, "Oh, I'm getting this interview. I don't give a fuck what he do."
Yeah.
Because once he came out in the...
He came out the basement for that shit.
I'd have been like, "Yo, bro, what did you do?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not... Me personally, I've never had I've dealt with... I think all of us have dealt with some sort of level of racism. I've never dealt with a Klansman or nothing like that. I'm from New York. That shit don't happen. Yeah. And if you was running, like, I'm just keeping it 1,000. If anybody ever tried to play that Klansman shit in New York, we jumping you crazy. Like, it'd be bad.
That shit goes
down
in Ohio.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like, I don't, but I understand that, like, when I see it, it evokes an emotion. Absolutely. I don't care if he got a black one on. Like, what the fuck is you doing?
It reminds me of that Dave Chappelle skit, you know?
Clayton Bixby.
I mean, I wouldn't even just been like, because first of all, in your head, as a streamer and all that, you like, this shit about to go up.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to be like, this is wild. Like address it some way, but it seemed like really soft. Like you don't want to fuck up this opportunity. I get it.
I think
You
that's
don't
just
got
the
no
times,
morals, man.
Yeah. But I think it's just, even morals or not, I think that's just in the times that we in now. It's like,
oh my God.
It's going to get seen. We really, I remember when Sticky Fingers said on a song, he said talking about, selling kids something. He was talking about selling kids drugs, and he said, shit, they going to get it from somebody, I'd rather it be me, right? I think that's just the times that we in now. It's like, I know personally, if I wanted to, like, what I do on my YouTube, on my streams, is me and me. Yeah. If I wanted to go up crazy, I could in a minute, because I could just talk crazy about niggas, say who want to fight, or I could just do all types of silly shit.
But some shit that don't feel right.
But it's just not me.
Yeah.
But I understand, regardless to if I agree with it or not, it's not gonna stop. It's not going nowhere. That's just the shit that exists. Like, it just exists now. You know what I mean?
It's getting a little annoying.
And while we brought up academics earlier, can you tell us, like, how did that situation come about when you first learned the news, and how and why did it end? Because we never really got like a clear answer.
What, Everyday Struggle?
Yeah.
Shit wasn't making no money. It's just business. Yeah. It's business. I mean, I made a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I made some good money from Complex. You know what I mean? And shouts out to Complex, because even after that, they've given me opportunities. But, you know, even when Joe was there, like, Joe's issue that I seen from his standpoint was they was making a lot of money and not cutting them in. Right. Because Joe was thinking more on a sense of like, yo, listen, Complex is Complex, but we the driving force of what this shit 100%. Is right now. And it was. I was watching. I never in a million years was watching that shit like, I'm gonna do this one day,
man.
Ever. But the reason why it ended was because we couldn't get no ads. Like, we couldn't sell it. We had episodes that did good numbers. We had the Soulja Boy shit. We had shit with Kevin Gates. We had all types of stuff that did well. But ultimately, I remember we sat in a marketing meeting, and this was like the first meeting we ever sat in, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not against white people. Like, I'm not against white people. You know what I mean? But I think that, like, if you're going to have white people involved in anything that involves culture, then they need to understand what it is that they doing. So, you know what I mean? Because listen, we can get money with y'all. Y'all don't mind getting money off of us.
Sure don't.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but we understand when y'all getting money off of us, what we have to provide. So when you want to make money off of us, y'all got to understand what y'all got to provide. And I think that they just didn't know how to sell a show. You know what I mean? for me and Ak, like my approach to Ak was, I ain't gonna lie, he's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life, and I'm talking about not just business, but just being knowledgeable. Like he knows a lot about a lot of things, and we used to have like similar points on shit. But I'm also not like, I didn't know that being on camera was like entertainment. I swear I did not know that I was entertaining. Like I didn't know like being on a show that I gotta be entertaining. I'm just talking. I'm basing my conversation on like how the conversation going with him. So if he not being disrespectful, I'm not never going to be disrespectful and jump up and yell, you don't know about this and you don't. Like,
Joe Budden shit. That's
but I will get like that if we having a heated debate about something. Yeah. But a lot of times when he was making points, we was having a dialogue that was just like a conversation. I wasn't trying to belittle him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I guess they looked at that as it's not the same thing that we was getting with Joe. Which is fine. I don't give a fuck. I did pretty good on my first time ever doing media.
Nah, that's like so it was looked at as a replacement.
I replaced him with Star, and then after Star, I came and replaced Star. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, I get it. Like Joe is funny too, cause Joe, like, I mean, even when it first came about, Joe did this thing called a pull up, and he asked me to come to his crib. We did the pull up, and before we did the pull up, we was having a conversation. He had told me that they was in talks to try to bring him back. But they also had told me at Complex, like, yo, we talking to him, we might bring him back. We just trying to figure it out. And then he told me, he was like, I'm not doing that shit. He like, you should do it. He like, I think that you good for it. I think it'd be a great opportunity for you. And he told me to do it. You know what I'm saying? I salute Joe for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was what it was. Like, that shit ain't happening again. You know what I mean? Like, I got my springboard, and me in media opened up so many doors for me. It opened, because so many people didn't know me, and it exposed me to so many people that it got me a deal with Amazon after that.
Damn.
Shout out to Amazon.
So with the marketing team and that meeting, right? Like, what were they looking for that y'all wasn't giving?
They was just looking for cause I'm understanding it now with the YouTube shit. Like, you know, like YouTube, it teach you about retention and like what parts people are paying attention to. Cause I've been doing YouTube like for almost a year now, and like I could look at my older videos to now, and I didn't really have a science to it. Now I kind of know what it is I'm doing. So they was looking for like us to have like these spikes, like these moments where like it's almost like on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. You know what I mean? Like they looking for that moment, and I didn't know how to do that. Like, because again, the way I did media was this. I'm the person that when I used to get my hair cut, one of my best friends was my barber. So
Willis?
He passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he passed away.
Okay.
But we grew up together. And like, so the barbershop was like, that was my therapy session. That was like, that's the only place where men are totally unapologetically themselves. Could talk about anything. It's the safest space possible.
Rick can relate.
No, for real.
No, I'm just saying, I'll be listening in. I'll be real uncomfortable. I'll be like, go ahead.
You too. Right here. Nah, but
he came back down. I'll let y'all have y'all time.
You know, being in a barbershop, I used to be able to stay an hour or 2 hours after, because I went to a barbershop that was on the avenue where I grew up at.
Gotcha.
So when I'm going in there with my friends, or like my man used to cut everybody from his building, everybody from my building. He used to cut people from I'm from the east side. He used to cut people from the west side. Everybody came there. So when you in there, you seeing people that you might have not seen from high school. Now y'all, and we talking about basketball. We talking about women. We talking about parenting. We talking about everything. So I applied that into media.
Right.
So I was just myself in the barbershop on camera until I learned, all right, then you got to learn how to do this and make it go up that way. And calm down and come back and have your points together. So I didn't know, that marketing meeting, it was just like, fuck is y'all talking about? I didn't understand what they were saying. Like, you know what I mean?
Word.
Do we want to stay on the complex topic? Because I know we had some...
No, that was it.
Stepping around and shit like that.
Okay.
All right, next question. Back to the quiz.
All right, let's get to the quiz.
All right, the next question. What's an option clause in a record deal?
An option clause.
Is it A, the artist's ability to opt out after one album? B, a label's ability to extend the deal for more albums? C, a clause letting artists release music elsewhere, or D, a clause tied to chart performance bonuses?
That's kind of weird.
No,
Because it could be B or D. All right.
Yo,
Go
with your gut.
Go with your good.
Say B again and say D again.
B, in a label's ability to extend the deal for more albums, and then D was a clause tied to chart performance bonuses.
Oh, I think I know.
I'm gonna say D.
I was gonna say B.
It's B.
It's B.
You sure?
B
You
sounds
said it
better.
first.
No, but the only reason why B, because I've seen a lot of
B sound better. She's crazy.
B
No,
sound
no, I'm
better.
saying like in terms of
Better for B.
choices.
Yeah, here we
No,
go.
better for
You
the
feel better.
choices.
Nah, that's really-
Yo, Wayno, you funny as hell.
Now I feel like I'm up here with my cousins. So
Okay.
the reason why I said either B or D is because
Yeah.
in contracts you can have all types of shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's all types of different ways of contracts. Like I sat in on a contract one time from 9 p.m. on Friday. This is a real story. We got into the office at 8 p.m. on Friday. We did not leave the office till 7 a.m. Saturday.
Damn. Y'all was
Going through a
all night.
contract, and
Yeah.
and my lawyer, my artist lawyer, and myself and the label going back and forth for
Yeah.
that many hours. Like we probably stopped for
Damn.
maybe 1 hour. I'm dead serious.
Damn.
And we got the contract done by 7 o'clock. By I think it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, the artist came, signed the deal. We had finally got it together. We signed the deal, but it took us that much amount of time. And through that tenure, it was so many different things in there that I learned about, like how the word don't, or the word don't in a sentence, a capital D and a lowercase d means two totally different things.
What?
So like in legal terms,
Yeah, no, that's
the
deep.
language is like a different
Yep.
coded language. So by the time we finished, I said, "There's no way possible y'all read books for entertainment." They're like, no,
Right.
It's hard for them to read because it's so much shit that they got to study over the years. It's like it's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. Well, those
Hire
two
a lawyer.
lawyers in particular.
No, hire a lawyer. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
ask you.
I got a great lawyer.
Yeah,
How I
yeah,
lawyer.
yeah.
Shout out to
Hire a
your lawyer.
lawyer,
Facts.
Yeah, that's crazy. The capital D and lowercase d.
Nah, it's and that's just one
That's
thing.
crazy.
There's
Yeah.
so many things in there.
Yeah.
For real.
What's one thing that's like when you automatically say it's like, no, we're not doing that.
When it's no,
Perpetuity.
it depends. See, that's what I'm saying. No contracts
Capital
is
P,
like
lowercase b.
no for real, but contracts is like social security numbers. Like they all different.
True.
They all different because it's like a person. What you gonna say no to, a person gonna say yes to,
Yes.
depending on what they need in
That's
that
real.
moment.
Yes.
So a lot of times, like record contracts, it preys on your needs. Like if I'm talking like if somebody show you like, listen, you making like, let's say a kid right now, don't matter it does matter male or female depending on what it is, because women in contracts need way more stuff than men.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's true.
For and I'm talking about artists, because
Hair,
I'm just
makeup.
clarifying because people would start throwing all types
Okay.
of shit. But in a male artist contract, artist A, I'm making $5K a month off my music, right? I could show that I'm making $5K. If I go a little bit harder, I could make $7,500 to $10K. But and that's decent for me. But I don't have. I might that $5K. I ain't paid no taxes.
Yeah.
I'm paying my bills, but not really. I got my own vices I'm into, whatever. And then somebody says, "Yo, here goes what's 5 times 12?
Like 140.
Huh?
140. 5 times. Oh,
5
5.
times 12.
Oh, I
That's
thought.
what I said,
60.
I thought.
60.
60.
I thought you were saying.
Yeah, I'm not good with talking and math all at once.
Yeah.
So 60, right?
Math. I was gonna pull out the calculator.
No, for
you.
real. So 60. Let's say you grossing $60K a year on your own. But person comes to you and says, "Yo, yeah, you getting that, whatever." But they looking at numbers. So they looking like, shit, if we just get them playlisted a couple more times, put a little bit more marketing, get a better video, that $5K that he making a month, we could turn that shit in like $15K. But in order for you to do this deal, here go 100,000. That 60 that you already making, you only 40 off.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not a lot of things that you could do really making 60, making 100. That's that different.
Right.
A person that makes 100,000 a year and a person that makes 60,000 a year, depending on your priorities, y'all lives ain't too much different.
That's
Agreed.
true.
what
That's a
I'm saying?
good point.
Facts.
Yeah.
So it's like But you looking at the 100 and you never had 100 all at once, and all you making is 5 a month.
Yeah.
But that 100 is gonna come with you. It's gonna come with a lot of bullshit. Cause if you don't understand, the thing is to buy small and pay large. So they probably don't already calculated that even though you making 60 off that one set record that you get in such and such a month, once they turn it up, you gonna give up a lot of your rights and they gonna go make 10 million.
Yeah.
You ain't going, let's say out of that, you gonna do some shows. Off your 60 now, you probably, let's say you done went up to like 300,000, 350 a year. Contrary to, is this the camera that's on me?
Yes.
Contrary to popular belief, most rappers don't make a lot of money. Being a rapper, being an artist is just like being anybody else with a 9 to 5. You gonna get what you put into that shit.
Right.
If you ain't putting in work, you ain't getting no overtime. If you ain't putting in work, you ain't getting no bonuses. So don't think that because a person got the ancillary things like a chain, a watch, a car, a pretty girl, could fly first class, that they live in so much different than you are. They be fucked up too.
Yeah.
Now that 100 that you done took, you done got that up front. But now that they done recoup, now they want you to do that again.
Yep.
And then once they done signed you, they done figured out that you ain't as good as they thought you was.
Yep.
Now you done signed some shit that you owe these motherfuckers about a good 2 or 3 more songs or projects. You never get out that deal, and they done made their money. Now your clout, your notoriety done went the fuck down. Nobody cares no more. Now you would never remember him.
Yeah.
It's more remember hims and hers now than ever.
Yeah, we know a lot.
I was gonna say, speaking of that too, we saw you on a BT show and you was talking to Gloss Up, right?
Yeah.
And you had a hard conversation with her, just pretty much saying like, man, the label might drop you type situation, right? Yeah. So talk about that. And are you still the A&R at QC?
Nah, I don't work at QC no more.
Okay.
But I appreciate Coach and P for bringing me on and letting me be a part of their journey. I got to witness a lot of legendary stuff, a lot of hard stuff too. You know, Takeoff passed by me when I was here. So it's like I got a chance to see, like, you know, from the outside looking in and the inside looking out as far as the company. That situation with Gloss though, the thing is that Gloss means well. Yeah. As far as what she wanted to be, but I don't think that she was willing to give. When I used to talk to her about what I wanted from her, she couldn't understand it. Cause you have artists who think that everything they do is just great. Everything. And that's the problem with being an artist, is like every song can't be like, every song you do is not your next best song. You know what I mean? And if more is required, then just be receptive. See, the problem that I used to have with Gloss is that I would say, oh, Gloss, like, you know, yeah, you been, I ain't gonna knock it. You was in the studio. We done did camps. And I remember we did a camp 2 years ago in Miami. She did a lot of work. She was there every day. She did a lot of songs. You know what I'm saying? And but just because you did a lot of songs don't mean that they gonna cut through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it don't mean that it's gonna work. And I'm just saying, like, cause then people say, well, what's the song that's gonna work? If I knew the song that was gonna work, I would be doing songs my damn self.
Type shit.
I mean, but at the same time, it's like we know we can distinct what's good versus what's medium versus what's trash. And it's like there was just a lot of medium. It was a lot of like, yeah, like, this is cool, this is a good idea, but I feel like it could be better, and she didn't want to be with it. And I'm telling her, like, yo, listen, I'm just telling you, if you was on Atlantic, they would have been stopping answering your calls. If you was if you was signed at Def Jam, they would have been, listen, you at a boutique. When you at a boutique, you get a chance to know the owners. Y'all don't know the owners of Def Jam.
Facts.
Y'all don't know the owners of Warner.
Yeah.
And the fucked up thing about it is, and I'm gonna keep it 100, when it comes to, and it's not just to Gloss, this is just artists in general. When it comes to especially black artists, y'all always feel like the white man ice is colder. White man, like white man come tell you how cold the ice is. You like,
yes, man. So let me get some of that cold ice.
No, they be like, no, you might be right.
Yeah.
Because they be viewing like, it's fucked up, man. With black people, because when people talk about, I hate when people say, ain't no artist development. Don't nobody want to develop artists. Don't nobody want to do this. Y'all have no idea the horror stories that we got to deal with when you have an insubordinate artist that don't want to work. My job on the line. If I don't get you to work, they looking at me like, this nigga don't know what he doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how they look at me.
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting here and I'm going to bat every day, yo, listen, I think we could do. Yeah, I'll do it. I need you at the studio at this time. You don't come on time. You got excuse for this. You got excuse for that. And I go back and I tell my predecessors, I'm telling them, yo, listen, they not working. They don't look at me and say, Wayno's trying. They say he don't know how to get this person, whether it's a gloss, he don't know how to get these people to work. We can't use them no more.
Yep.
And then you lose your job. Artists, shit. If you catch a decent song, you could still make 7 bands, 8 bands a month.
Facts.
Don't nobody talk about the A&Rs that like, and I'm not saying this is event session. I didn't lose my job. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask like this.
No.
Okay.
My job was not. I had a contract.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
made X amount of dollars, and we both decided. You know, it was a point in time where it was like, all right, we gonna go our separate ways, which that's just business.
Yeah.
Listen,
Not the
it's
person.
tons of people. I know I'm going on and on.
No, you
But it's
right now for real.
It's tons of people. Like I said, I equate this shit to sports. You know how many people, how many people get better after they get traded?
Yeah.
Or they get
That's
extra
so
from a
true.
team? You know how many coaches might have been the assistant coach, and then once they got their opportunity, became the head coach or the president of operations because they got the opportunity. So I don't look at myself as when I lose the opportunity like I'm at fault. I just learned, but people don't really understand the amount of A&Rs that really, really put time in, and they dealing with these kids that's like, they just want to get high, or they just want to lay up with their girl all day, or they just want to be up under a man all day, or they...
And it'd be bad when you see talent in people and they just not pushing to their full potential.
Because you don't want to go harder for somebody than they going for themselves.
You can't.
But
Nah.
you know what it is too, because they be complacent. Like there's a very, very small... I'm just looking at this table. There's everybody that there's pictures of on this table.
Yeah.
And everybody that I could look at is in a very, very small percentile of the ones in their time that actually understood the hard work and what it meant to put in. There was tons of people that started the same times as each of these people.
Hell yeah.
Whether they passed away or not. And it's so many people that don't understand. Like I seen Tom Brady say some shit the other day on Instagram. It was a clip and it fucked me up, yo. Cause when he said it, I understood why I didn't get to where I wanted to in anything I ever tried. And he was just like, yo, it's people that is willing, no matter how bad your body. And he's considered, if not the best,
perfect time,
the best athlete or the best quarterback or the best football player of all time. He's like, yo, it's times where you don't want to do it, where you tired, where you can't, you don't feel like it. He's like, that's the mindset you want your competition to have. You want them to quit. You want them to say, this shit is too much. I can't do it. Yeah. And I was like, damn.
That's real.
You know what I mean? And he's like, then you got the people that's like, fuck it, I'm going to do it regardless. And I'm like, all right, bet. But that tells you the distinction of people that's going to try and the ones that ain't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just heard something similar to Mel Robbins, who wrote the Let Them book.
Oh.
She was like, that's really what made the difference. Like, are you willing to do the work?
Oh, yeah.
Simple.
Gotta be willing to do it, because it's easier said than done. Because
True.
a lot of times, don't be feeling like it.
Yo, it was a lot of people. I wasn't the only person in the mailroom. I wasn't the only person as an intern at Roc-A-Fella. It's people that got the same story. Not the mailroom, but it's like, because it's only 2 people that came out that mailroom that did something in that realm. But it's a lot of people that was interning, that was in college. My mom told me when I dropped out of high school, she said, listen, I'm going to tell you like this. If you don't, she said, I'm not saying that school is your end all be all, but if you decide to not go to school, you're going to have to work 10 times harder than the person next to you that go to school. Yeah. Because the person that go to school, it's going to be hard for them. You got to work 10 times harder than the person that went to school. Fact. So she said, if this what you going to do, go ahead. But you better get on your shit. And I did, you know what I mean? And that was my distinguishing factor. All the shit that people used to complain about, I do it. I would stay in the studio. I get to the studio at 6 p.m. I stay in the studio till 8 a.m. Then I would leave, go take a shower. Like, I'll probably sleep in the studio maybe 2 hours. Go take a shower, get myself dressed, come back to the office by 10 a.m. And this when I was at Roc-A-Fella.
Dedication, boy.
Damn.
Yeah, I wasn't playing no games.
Dedication.
Like, I wasn't playing no games. For real.
And so, while we talking about QC, I know we want to talk about Lil Baby, too.
Yeah, so, like, what years was you in,
I started coming around in 2020. Like, I started coming around in 2020. I moved down here in 2021. So I got my job officially, like, 2021. But, like, I started talking to P, like, right before COVID hit. Like, like it was, I started talking to P, like, when my turn came out.
Oh, got you.
Oh my God.
All right.
Album was so good.
Yeah.
It's a classic. I give Baby a classic.
That's a classic.
Yeah. So, what do you think has been going on with Lil Baby, and I know everybody got their time. You know what I'm saying? And everybody not gonna be on top forever. But like his music ain't catching on to people, or like people can't.
Although I like the last album.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I was cool with it too. It's just like even as a DJ, when I was trying to play some of the tracks on there, like it was not working in the club like that.
Yeah.
Do you like have any input on like?
I don't. So even though I was working at QC, I've never worked with Lil Baby.
Oh,
before.
okay.
I never got a chance to work with him. I mean, he kind of like operates as his own thing outside of like myself and my sis Brandra. We came over there to A&R. I mean, I wish I could have got the opportunity to work with him, but the thing that my thing with Lil Baby is like, you know, from the outside looking in, he's like the draft pick that nobody thought was gonna be the guy.
Yeah.
And he became the guy. Like he really became the guy, and he did it his way.
Facts.
So what I got from that was like he's gonna do things his way, right? Now, as far as his music, I think that like it's just perception, because it's not like his music is bad. Like when people say, I don't like when people say, oh, his music's not the same. DMX barked for 20 years before he died.
I was just listening to 3 albums today.
We had Tashir Simmons up here too last week. His ex-wife,
And they said they liked him when he was on drugs more.
They did, but like Styles P is one of my favorite artists of all time. Styles P, he was violent for a very long time in his music. You know what I'm saying? I think that the perception now of people is this. They're gonna hate you for the same things they love you for.
That's
my God.
They're gonna hate you for the same thing. When he was doing it and people loved him for it, they loved it. They couldn't get enough of it. But I think a lot played into that. I think the whole YSL thing, the shit with him and Gunna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, when Gunna got out, and listen, I ain't gonna talk about how I feel about street stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I have my own stuff. That's my personal feelings when it comes to street stuff. But when the stuff with him and Gunna, think about the casual fan. That when they people accept you how they met you.
Yeah.
So when Baby started popping, Gunna started popping, right? And they had records together. And then when people now, the streets ain't have no empathy for Gunna or no understanding of nothing for Gunna at all. But the casual fan, that's the streaming music fan every day, is like, I don't know nothing about the streets. Why y'all not making songs together?
I'm at his show.
And I think that like it changes how people even hear music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It changes how people hear music. And then it's like Gunna came home, had success. I think that plays. I'm not going to say that's a part of his success or not, because Baby is still successful without Gunna.
Yeah.
But people definitely look at it and be like, oh, he ain't this and he doing that, or he's better. Or
they got to choose type.
And I just think that metrics ruin, like they just ruin experiences, because the way people view music now is as different than it's ever been. When I was a kid, I did not know who was going number one
at all.
I was not reading Billboard.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, of course you're not gonna be a kid forever, but that's when I love music. I love music for music. And now it's like, how much streams he did the first day, what playlist he at the top of, what she did, or it's too much of that, or it's, oh, he fucking with him, we gotta listen to it. It's so many things that go into how a person is it's more psychological than it's ever been.
Because a weak ass song could be the first song of a hot playlist, and you thinking, damn, this is the hottest song.
Yeah.
And then like you're like, well, I guess I gotta play it. I gotta, you know what I mean?
But you know what? It also started like with, I mean, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If Baby, when it was the album after My Turn, shit with all his faces on it.
I didn't
it was like
love
4
that
faces
album.
on it. It was like
the golden cover. It was like that gold cover.
I'm just bad with names. You know what I'm saying? But
we'll find it.
But that album, when people were saying the album that had Hey on it and all that.
I didn't love that album.
But honestly, if you listen to aside people didn't like that song, but if you listen to the rapping on that album, that's some of Baby's best rap.
I agree.
It's Only Me.
It's Only Me.
I was late. It's
Only Me.
I was late.
It's some of his best rapping on that album. But
he's right though.
But if he listen,
I was late.
He's damned if he do, damned if he don't. If he switches up all the beats and how he does, then they gonna say he doing too much. He fell off, all that shit. Yeah. It's particular to the artist, but he's okay. That nigga still making money.
Nah, it's true, because I definitely thought that Redbone joint was gonna go up, and when I played it, people wasn't rocking with it.
I just think
I like the lyrics in that song.
I just don't like the way social media has made people throw artists away.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, as soon as they do something that you don't like, it's like, one song, one album. It's like, all right, we didn't like this album. Fuck them. Like, we don't like them.
Yeah.
It's like, I just hate that. That's corny.
That's fact.
First of all, like, none of these, like, unless they doing something crazy, like, I ain't even going to speak on that type of stuff, but unless you crossing lines morally or some other shit, then we should not be concerned. But it's like, if you making music, let's just like people for the music that they make.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, let's just be like people for the music that they make. These people is not gonna be at your wedding. They gonna be at your funeral.
That's so true.
They gonna be at your bar mitzvahs. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
stop it. Like,
Wait, get back into that pop quizzy.
All right, last question. Which of these artists helped establish Asylum Records as a hub for Southern hip hop in the early 2000s?
oh, that's easy.
Then
It's two of them. But go ahead. You.
A. Paul Wall, B. Rick Ross, C. Plies, D. Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane.
Gucci.
But cannot forget about Boosie and Webby.
Webby, yes.
That's
Boosie and
facts.
Webby. Yeah, I worked at Asylum too.
Yo,
Yeah, in 2019, I worked at Asylum when they was trying to bring it back. It became like a division of Atlantic, but you know, shouts out to Asylum. Made a lot of money with y'all too. Listen, I made some money.
I'm about to say you be moving and grooving. Is it
Yeah.
just
Say
like your
something.
relationships? Like, how do you keep it consistent with just moving on to the next?
Well,
Just
I
staying
say
relevant?
like people. You know what? Somebody told me one time that like whenever I'm too quiet, they know something's about to happen. But I will say like it's a culmination of things. It's relationships. A big part of it is relationships, but it's also the work that you put in.
Facts.
It's also the work that you put in. I've been able to have success as a manager outside of a building structure, having my artists signed to labels. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had multiple artists signed to different major labels, partnerships with labels, all of that stuff. And when things work, we happy. When things don't work, I don't go complaining, yo, they trash, they fucked up. I don't do none of that. I just maintain being who I am. I think that people see me for who I am, and there's people who recognize my skill sets and they want to utilize it. One thing I say is you got to be useful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a very useful person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an extremely useful person, and I know how to pivot. Like, some of the stuff that I'm going into in my career now that I'm doing independent media is going to be more different than the things that y'all have ever seen me do. So it's like, I'm from Harlem, man. I'm gonna get me a check. I'm gonna give me some money.
That's one thing about the niggas.
Now you was working with 600 Breezy at Asylum?
Yeah.
Was he supposed to sign a Drake or what happened with him?
I don't know nothing about none of that Drake stuff.
Okay.
I say with 600 Breezy, what happened with 600 Breezy was somebody, I can't remember who told me to take the meeting with him. Was it my man Dallas? It might have been my man Dallas from Art End.
Oh wow. Shout out to Dallas.
But he told me to take a meeting with him. I like what 600 Breezy did. 600 Breezy, he just too heavy in the street, man.
Definitely
like,
too heavy.
He's not a structured person. Like I tried to structure. It's at 600. Like we got a decent rapport. Like I do mess with him, but like the problem that we was having is he will go viral. Anything outside of music, he go viral. When
No,
put out
for
music,
real. I didn't even know he
people
did music. Not even gonna lie.
Nah, people didn't really, you know what I mean? Because there are people who are fans of his music, but like it just wasn't translating. We couldn't find a way to translate the virality of him going through with his baby mother or like having something else going on into like people streaming his music. Like we just couldn't translate it. And then when we tried to like structure it, and it just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? But shouts out to 600.
Yeah, big ups.
sure.
I feel
Maybe
like
he
that's what
should
y'all
just be like
be
a
going through.
personality or something.
I think
Like,
he should be like reality
you need to come on your
TV.
show.
I think certain stuff like reality
Oh, you
TV
said?
or
You need to
acting.
come on your show.
Nah, don't know artists come on my show.
Hey!
I don't. Let me tell you one thing I learned about what it is I'm doing. I'm never gonna be artist dependent.
Yeah.
You gotta come to my channel for me. Like
Yeah.
I've had like too many instances where I was supposed to have a big show and then something happened and like
Tell
they
us
cancel or
Nigga.
yeah I
And you
can't.
Prep for hours and
Yeah.
shit.
He got PTSD
Moved,
from
you know what I'm
that
saying?
shit,
Skip the
like-
funeral and shit.
Skip the funeral was crazy.
But
Okay, so like, can you give us some tips for like content creation and just like, you know, because we are content creators and just other content creators out there, we all like self-taught.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't know, cause I'm. No, I will say no.
I was gonna say you gotta know some tips.
Nah, I really. All right, so look, this the whole. We got some time, so I can explain how I even got into. All right, so the way I even got into doing what I'm doing
So
now.
polite.
No, cause I don't be wanting to waste nobody's time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all got other engagements.
No,
Like,
you
yo,
good.
this nigga.
all right, next guest.
No, don't worry, get him out of here. No,
You know what I'm
we still
saying?
on our time.
Nah,
We're straight.
Nah,
We're
but
straight.
all right. So like after everyday struggle, you know what I'm saying? I had got a situation promotion with Amazon Music. Shouts out to my boy Tim Henshaw. He's from Compton. I met him at a YG bowling party, and he told me that he messed with me, and you know what I'm saying, he wanted to bring me to Amazon Music, and they started the whole rotation program with me. I was their first media personality they signed on the hip hop side. That's and hard. We did good. But the thing that was great about Amazon was it's Amazon. But the bad thing about Amazon is it's Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna put some context behind that. Amazon, they're a great company, but I think like for me and what I was doing with Everyday Struggle, I was doing 4 episodes a week, 4 episodes a week, 40 weeks a year. So that is a level of repetition that if people don't see you, it's out of sight, out of mind. It's like, yo, like out of sight. I ain't seen him. I ain't seen her. She ain't doing nothing. She ain't got nothing going on. Yeah. So they gave me my own show, and the show was once a month. So don't get me wrong.
Hell no.
The thing was, I mean,
Carisha.
What you mean? What?
No, I'm saying Carisha. Like, I love Carisha's show.
No,
but
Carisha
is about once every 3 months.
As a fan, it's like, bro.
Best podcast today.
No, she had no consistency to her podcast.
I know that's my girl. I ain't seen Carisha in a minute. Carisha is such a sweetheart, man. She's crazy. She's a sweetheart.
But it was shade as a fan, like, bro, come on.
No,
we want more, right?
You want more. But I will say, you know what I mean? My show was once a month.
And it was like a podcast?
It wasn't a podcast. Like, all right, so look, this is what I'm saying. Like, all right, so it was a show that was on Twitch. It was a streaming show. But it was formatted like a podcast. But I'm not a streamer at this time. Like, I'm a streamer now. Listen, I'm a full-on content creator, YouTuber, all that.
That part, come on.
But at the time, I wasn't a streamer. So I didn't even know how Twitch worked, and my show was exclusively on Twitch.
Damn.
So the thing was, is like I'm getting great looks because look, you go on Twitch, Casa not on Twitch. Yeah. I'm talking about on the front page.
Oh,
on the front page because Amazon owns Twitch.
I did not know that.
Yes. So,
all right, I'm gonna get another stock today.
Like, I'm getting great. Like when I drop, I'm getting great looks. But then, it's once a month. If I told you I wanted to be the best bodybuilder in the world, and I only went to the gym once a month, I don't have a shot.
Yeah.
So, but also, while I do appreciate Amazon Music and they still family, I still do stuff for them to this day. Please don't take anything I'm saying and not give me another.
No, that's real.
But it was their vision for me. It wasn't my vision for myself. The way I got into the content creation stuff, or what I'm doing now, is I gotta give credit to JayHill. I don't know if y'all familiar with JayHill. I went to JayHill's podcast. I did JayHill's podcast, and when I seen his setup, I was like, yo, bro, I'm trying to get my shit off the ground. What can I do?
That's hard.
He was working with me, helping me with some things, and then I decided to start getting it, and he didn't hoard the information. I said, what cameras I need? He said, buy this, buy that. He gave me a whole list.
That's hard.
So after I did that, but you know, the growing pains is like, you know, now I had one guy that was helping me. I don't know why. Unfortunately, this is my problem. He came to my house. I live in a nice neighborhood. It's a really nice neighborhood, and I got a really big house.
So he want more money.
Yeah, so he see my house, he like, oh, nah, I'm definitely getting, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, yo, bro, my bills a month will make you throw up. I don't have an extra.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, just work with me. Just work with me. Nah. You know what I mean? Nah. Damn. So then it came to me having to learn how to edit. JayHill taught me some things about editing. And then I started working. I had the Ada machine where you could do the switches and all of that. I taught my daughter how to work the machine.
Come on, gotta start them young.
Yeah, no, for real. My daughter was in there with me. Like, I'm like, all right. I'm like, count me in. She like 5, 4, 3. So dope. She like, boom. We hit that drink. Then she hitting the switches when I'm saying right stuff. But the problem I ran into that is she gotta take her ass to school in the morning.
Yeah. How does your daughter? Like, Daddy, I ain't gonna be
at the time she was 11. She about to be 13 next month.
So I got homework.
Yeah, and my daughter an athlete, so she got track, jiu-jitsu. She got a bunch of things she doing. Damn. So then I was like, all right, look, let me just learn it. And then I just started going, hitting that joint, hitting the button, sitting down, get myself together, talking.
Hard.
And then even shout out to Speedy Norman.
Oh, shout out to Speedy.
Speedy don't care for no credit. I don't use the word real nigga. I never use that to describe somebody, but boy is Speedy a real nigga. Because I just really respect anybody that if I ask you a question, if you ask me a question, don't keep that shit in your fifth pocket.
Right.
It's not gonna put more money in your pocket. It's not gonna make you feel better at night. If I ask you for real, because I don't know what niggas.
No,
do.
he not lying because when we first before we started, I asked you what camera you use. He started telling me the lenses. I couldn't even type fast enough. Okay, I'm trying to write it down. What?
No, because I don't.
6, 7. What?
This world is really big.
Yeah.
This world is really big, and who am I to say if I get like if whatever you do is not going to get even
100.
Even if what you did, even if you start after me and you start passing me, I don't feel insecure about that.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So I had asked Speedy about like how to, because he's really good as like how he communicates.
Yeah.
And sometimes like when I would start, I would like jumble over my words, or I might like say the same thing twice, not knowing. And I'm editing, I'm doing everything in one shot, so I gotta get it, like, I gotta hit a half-court shot every time, like, I gotta get it right. So he just gave me some skills as to how to do it, and ever since that, I use these programs, these cap cuts, I go on YouTube, I hit people up. Also, don't be afraid to talk to the people that's in your DM that want to give you suggestions.
Hello.
For real, cause it's a dude who, like, even with my streaming, I was having difficulty with streaming, and then I was paying people to help me fix my stream. There's this one dude that he hit me one day, like, yo, bro, let me help you out.
Because sometimes you'll see somebody, you know how to fix it.
Yeah, he's making this so hard. Let me hit him up.
His name G Lambo, and he just hit me up like,
shout out G Lambo.
Yeah, he's like, yo, let me help you. I'm like, all right.
That's all right.
So we just sat on a call one day, and after he taught me, I said, I can't believe I was paying people to do this shit. Because once I sat down and really I was like, that's what they was doing, and I'm not. Listen, I love to pay people for their services.
They probably mad as hell. Like, damn, you found out how to do it.
Listen, I appreciate everybody that. If I gave you a couple dollars, I appreciate it because you helped me get one step closer.
Sure.
But now it's like I'm not no master at it, but it's like I done learned so much. I'm like, oh nah, I'm going like that Tom Brady shit about it's only up to me if I want to do it or not. Oh nah, I'm gonna do it. Like facts, I'm gonna do that shit.
Well, I could say I've been watching your stream for months now, and I see your audience grow. I see your consistency.
Thank you.
I think I was telling you at the studio, like, and what's smart about it is, first of all, like, it's clean. It's might be 15, 20 minutes, but you get it out, and that helps you be consistent and show, you know, and I think that's a smart way to do it, especially like if a person's busy or not. Like, you might not have all day, but yo, if I'm consistent and I can break this down and give you my input, and I think people that are like you like it. They might not want the theatrics. You know what I mean? They just might want like a solid up north motherfucker saying some shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I really appreciate that because like even the way that I've been approaching it is a dude left a comment today on my YouTube. And I don't read everything, but I read this one, and it's like, you know, when we notice the bullshit when somebody say it to us, I gotta shout out the people that give flowers when flowers is due. But he said something to me that was kind of eye opening. He said, Wayno, he said, I unfollowed you on Instagram because I felt you was kind of boring on there, and he was like, but like seeing what you've been doing with your channel with this content, I didn't know that your personality was like this, and I really love what you're doing, and I'm gonna support you. And then I replied and I told him, I said, see, the thing with the Instagram is like I was holding back. Because I'm looking at myself in this lens that other people aren't looking at me at. I'm looking like, I'm a music executive, so I have to act a certain way. I'm a music executive, and I got articles in Billboard, and I got articles in Double XL, so I gotta conduct myself instead of being my full self. So I'm not giving people my full self on Instagram. So now that I'm on YouTube, I mean, I still kind of approached it from that standpoint when I first got on, but now I don't care. I'm saying however I feel. I'm in the barbershop again. You know what I mean? So like it's really taught me a lot about doing something like this, because yo, it was big YouTubers telling me when I first started doing media, like, nah, make a YouTube. I'm telling you, make a YouTube. I'm like, fuck I'm gonna do. Hey, I'm just coming there, I'm getting my check from Complex, I come sit, talk shit, leave. That's it. But now it's like on the independent side, I just like the fact that if it's news that happens today, I can talk about it right now. You know what I mean? And I've invested. Like, that's another thing. I just want to just say something about investing. Everybody doesn't have the means. Everybody might not have it, but if you can, put your money up. Cause I took some bread that I had that I didn't have, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go buy all these cameras. I painted like in my basement. Like I got this big room. I was gonna turn this room into a sneaker room. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot of sneakers. But that would have just been like my own novelty thing. That I would just spent a lot of money just for it to look nice. I'm like, nah. I built 3 sets in my crib. I got a set right here for sneakers. I got a set right here that I'm gonna be talking about on art. So my old set with the blue set, I'm gonna turn that into like my stuff when I talk about like unboxing art and shit like that, paintings. But my other set, I wanted to change the tone. I didn't want to make it too serious, but I wanted to make it like look good. I really be working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really be working. Like I really be putting in work, and people have no idea. Like I might record an episode and don't like it and do it over again. Just because I want to get it that right. You know what I'm saying? So I like just that acknowledgement, that shit mean a lot, for real.
Yeah, we can tell that you care about what you do, man. And H would kill us if we don't ask you, man. Speaking of shoes, you know, can you tell us what's some spots in New York, Bronx and Harlem specifically, we need to go to get some good food, get some fashion, all that shit?
Food, fashion, you ain't gonna get it. Like, I ain't gonna front. I don't shop in Harlem. Like, I first of all, I ain't been living in Harlem. I moved out of Harlem in 2016, but I still was living in Jersey. But people don't get their clothes from Harlem like they used to. You know what I mean? Like Harlem, we used to have all these stores where like we had all these boutique stores where you could pull up and they had exclusive shit. Everybody just shop in Soho now.
Yeah.
Soho or Saks or like Patron of the New. Like so, yes, Patron of the New. You got Kith, which is a flagship that's in New York. They got Kith in where's Kith at? It's in Miami. They got one in Paris now too. The shout out to Ronnie Five. But you got food. If you go to Harlem, you gotta go to Jimbo's. You know what I mean? Okay. Jimbo's is a spot that's ran by all Mexicans. But when I tell you best breakfast and burgers and all of that ever, I love Jimbo's. Rusty's for some Jamaican food. Soul food. You got Amy Roof's. You know what I'm saying? You got Amy Roof's. Amy Roof's is cool. Amy Roof's is cool. But then you got PD's. PD's is another spot ran by Mexicans. But I tell you, it's not soul food. Okay. It's like grilled like steaks, chicken, barbecue. Like they food is fire. I ain't gonna front. PD's is OD. Like when I go back, I want some PD's right now.
Right? You want PD's?
But I mean, you got the typical spots. You got the Julans and all the Brooklyn Shop House. They all got the same menus and all of that. But I mean, you know, I ain't been living in New York in a minute, so it's like I'm kind of limited on some of the stuff that might be popping right now. But I do want to go to that spot, Cuts and Slices. You know they be showing they got the sweet chili oxtail pizzas and all that.
Yeah, I seen Keith Lee.
That sound good.
Keith Lee went there. I think Keith Lee went there. Yeah, it's a dope spot. I haven't went there, but I ain't gonna front. Like them joints be looking so fire.
Yeah, they do.
But as far as clothes, I mean sneakers. You ain't really got too many sneaker spots because the sneaker stores like that whole thing changed. I think that's crazy. Yeah, sneaker stores. Everything is just online now. Yeah, you know what I mean? Everything's online.
Had that shit you know, the sneakers would be wrapped in plastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean you still got those stores, Stadium, but you got stores down here that got that. You know what I mean? Like you the thing about like when I was a teenager, I was buying sneakers online when it was dial-up internet. For real, I was buying sneakers off of eBay in 98, 99.
Nah, I remember I got some sneakers on eBay and I realized they was fake. But that's before I knew they was some fake, like there was fake shit out there like that.
But so I've been buying stuff online for a long time, and like so I was the guy who I would buy a pair of Jordans, and when everybody wearing them, I'll wear them next year. You know what I mean? Like, so I used to pride myself on like having stuff that nobody had, but now it's like the internet, anybody can have anything. It's like things is
fair game now.
But now it's like now you got them special collectors where it's like this dude on IG. His name is The Perfect Pair. I'm trying to interview him. Yo, he has like just the Oregon Ducks, the school Oregon. Yeah. That's what Tinker Hatfield went that he created. Well, he did design and create all the Jordans from 1 through like I think 13 or 14. That school gets special shit. He has like probably a $500,000 collection of just sneakers.
Oregon, so it's like got the best colors too. Sadly.
Yeah, they got Oregon the best colors. Yo, but you know, it be making me tight because like and that's another thing. Like even with Nike, like they give people shit that don't care about it. Like I hate the fact. I hate the fact that like all the friends and family shit be on sale. I'm like, who's the friends and family? I'm like, I want to be friends and family. Like, I want these shits. They be saying, yo, friends and family Jordans 15,000. I'm like, yo, why you ain't? No, for real. I remember when I used to manage Dave East. They sent him a pair of Jordans that for Michigan, and it was some special shits. And I said, bro, he like, yo, what's the nigga asking me right now? He said he gonna give me 10,000. I said, bro, don't. It ain't like you ain't like we getting 10,000s like this. I'm like, yo, bro, don't sell them. He sold them shits. Them shits is worth like they worth like 25,000 now. That ass, and it was free. I mean, that was just
10,000.
But I ain't gonna lie, I was like
tomorrow prices.
Listen, me being see Jordan Brand had reached out to him directly. When I was the manager, anything you used to want to send him, you had to send me.
That part.
I was like, damn, I wish I'd have got that plug. I wish I'd have got that plug. But shouts out to Davey.
Hell yeah, man. Wayno, this has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of, just dope insights. And, just thank you for fucking with us.
Yeah.
Oh, no, listen, man. Y'all approach was totally genuine. And my thing is like, if who I am, lending my time, and y'all giving me the time, and me lending my time for however long is going to bring more eyes and ears on what y'all doing, I'm here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them people that be on some, no, you talk to my agent. We'll figure it out. Like, it's real, like, man. If I meet you on the right terms and the right approach, and it was so crazy. But she like, let me get your number. She writing my number, my name pop up. I was like,
that's what we met.
We just can't remember where we met at. But then when we looked at the text, it was like from 2021 or something like that.
It's time.
Yeah, so it was like, I appreciate people that's, that support what it is that I'm doing. I'm gonna support y'all as well.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we bombarded him when he had a whole
we
plate
jumped
in his hand.
We jumped him.
One side to the other, like, hey,
he can't run. He can't run, ladies. Come on.
But I appreciate it, yo. I appreciate that wholeheartedly. For
absolutely. Real. So, final question for this particular episode, and you're welcome to come back anytime.
I would love to.
So our keyword is progress, and we ask all our guests, what the keyword progress means. So, what does it mean to you?
Ooh, y'all know I'm long-winded, and I ain't gonna take too long. But at one point in time, I was calling my online community the progressives. So what progress means to me? What does progress mean to Wayno? Progress is process, right? In order to reach the levels and the heights that you want to get to, you have to understand that it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not gonna happen, because if it does happen tomorrow, you're not gonna appreciate it. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna happen tomorrow. It's only gonna happen as much as you want it to happen. And even when it gets dark, because it do get dark, Lord, do it get dark. Even when it gets difficult, even when you don't feel like doing it, if you want progress, you gotta trust that process and put yourself through it. Let yourself feel every single emotion so you can lift yourself out. That's what progress means to me.
I love that.
Hell yeah. Take that up real quick.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Make sure y'all send me that short too so I can post it.
We got you. We're going to send you all the promo clips and go crazy. But, man, Wayno, thank you again, man. It's the Progress Report podcast. Y'all, we out.
The Progress Report.